So let's talk about a totally different way to think about sales. What if I told you that your best customers, your most valuable clients, aren't sitting neatly in some CRM database? What if they're hidden out in the chaos of a market like this? Well, today we're going on a hunt. We're looking for sales in one of the most dynamic, noisy places on earth. And believe me, the rules are completely different. You see, on one hand, you've got the standard playbook, right? LinkedIn, CRM, automated emails. It's all very structured, very predictable. But in a market like Bangladesh, you can pretty much throw that playbook out the window. The reality is messy. It's fluid. It's a world that runs on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and on face-to-face connections in crowded streets. A typical salesperson, they get completely lost here. But this is where the sales hunter comes alive. So, where does our hunter even begin the search? Forget LinkedIn. The hunt starts on the platforms that people are actually using every single day. The real trick isn't just being on Facebook or WhatsApp. It's about using them in really clever, unconventional ways that your competitors are totally sleeping on. Okay, check out this first tactic. It is absolutely genius in its simplicity. Your competitor spends their hard-earned money to run a Facebook ad. Potential customers see it, and what do? They comment, "Price please," or "Inbox me." Now, those aren't just comments. They're basically public announcements that say, "I want to buy this right now." The hunter doesn't see a competitor's ad. They see a pre-qualified lead list that the competition just paid to create for them.
And this is the exact message you sent. Now let's break down why this is so powerful. First, it starts with a respectful greeting, salam. Then it's direct. It shows you've paid attention. I saw you were asking. Then, boom, it immediately offers better value, a better warranty. And the killer part, it asks for permission. Can I share the details? In one short message, you've gone from being a total stranger to a helpful expert.
Next up, the hunter turns WhatsApp into their own secret marketing machine. The strategy couldn't be simpler. You save every single number you get, every prospect, every client, every contact. Then, every day, you post a professional update to your status. Maybe it's a new shipment that just came in or a photo of a happy customer. It's super low effort, but it keeps you top of mind. People mindlessly scroll through statuses, and when the day comes that they actually need your product, guess who they're going to think of first? You. All right, we're logging off and hitting the streets. We're moving from the digital hunt to the physical one. In these super dense markets, being in the wrong neighborhood is like being invisible. The real money is moving on the streets, and a good hunter knows how to read the signs. This table right here, it's a gold mine. It's a cheat sheet. It shows you that specific industries all clump together in what are called trade clusters. You sell machinery, you go to Nawabpur. You're in textiles, Islampur is your spot. Knowing this is like a fisherman knowing exactly where the fish are schooling. You don't waste your time casting a line in an empty part of the ocean. So, you're in the right cluster. Now, how do you pick your target? You just open your eyes, you look for the visual cues of growth. Is a shop being renovated? That means they have cash and they're optimistic about the future. A brand new signboard going up? Same thing. See a line of trucks loading up with goods? That screams high turnover. These aren't subtle hints. They're loud, clear signs of a business that's doing well and is ready to spend money. And for pure, unfiltered efficiency, you have the high-rise sweep. This is a game changer. Instead of wasting hours in traffic trying to get between meetings, you pick one tall commercial building, you ride the elevator all the way to the top, and then you walk down, floor by floor, stopping at every single office on your way. It's a simple hack that turns one single location into dozens of potential leads in just a few hours. Okay, so you've found the right building, you've found a promising company, but now comes the hardest, most critical part of the entire hunt. You have to decode the human signals. You have to get past the gatekeeper and find the person who actually makes the decisions. You know, the biggest mistake most salespeople make is treating the security guard or the receptionist like they're just an obstacle. That is a fatal error. The fix is so simple. Respect. A handshake, a polite greeting, asking them how their day is. That person isn't a gatekeeper. They are your first source of intelligence. They know everything, and a little bit of kindness can be the key that unlocks the front door. Now, if simple respect doesn't work, there's always the career bluff. It's brilliant. You put your proposal in a big, sealed, professional-looking envelope, and you mark it urgent and confidential. Suddenly, you're not a salesperson trying to get a meeting anymore. Oh no, you are a courier with an important delivery for the boss. It's this fantastic piece of social engineering that just flips their script and bypasses all their defense. So, let's talk about money. You're finally in the room, you're making your pitch, and then the owner says, the market is so bad, we just don't have the budget. This is a classic move. It's a cultural negotiation tactic, almost like a poor act. A real hunter knows you never ever listen to the words. You look for the real signs of wealth.
So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you see past this act? The owner's wearing simple clothes, he's telling you business is terrible. How do you know if they actually have the money to buy from you? And here are the dead giveaways. These are the undeniable cues. You see a note-counting machine on the desk? That means they handle so much cash they literally can't count it by hand. A huge industrial generator outside? That means they cannot afford to lose a single minute of business when the power goes out. You can even just have a casual chat with the shop next door. If they say, "Oh yeah, he always pays the suppliers on time," that tells you everything you need to know about their real cash flow. So you've confirmed the budget. You've totally won over the modern English-speaking son who's been running the meeting. The deal's basically done, right? You're celebrating inside. Wrong. You've just walked straight into the authority trap, because the person who's been nodding along and agreeing with you isn't always the one who actually signs the check. See, the true authority is often the silent father, the founder of the business, who's been sitting quietly in the corner the whole time. If you ignore him, the deal's dead on arrival. But this one simple line on the screen saves it. You turn to him, you show respect, and you ask, "Uncle, what is your experience with this type of machine?" That single question acknowledges his wisdom, his authority. It makes him your ally, and it gets you the final sign-off.
A great hunter also knows when to hunt. Think of the local business calendar as having green zones and red zones. You go on the attack in June, because that's when companies are rushing to spend the last of their annual budgets. You hit them hard right before the Eid holidays, when everyone is stocking up. And you definitely avoid Thursday afternoons, when everyone's already checked out for the weekend. Timing is absolutely everything.
And that brings us to the hunter's final and maybe most powerful rule. A good hunter makes a sale. A great hunter uses that one sale to build an entire network. But you can't just ask for a referral anytime. The timing has to be perfect. As you can see here, you don't do it at the beginning, you don't do it during negotiations, you wait. You ask at the moment of maximum satisfaction, right after you've delivered, right when the customer is happiest, and your value is crystal clear in their mind.
And this script is exactly how you do it. It's smooth, it's natural. First, you confirm they're happy. Why are you happy? Then, you make the ask super specific and easy for them. Who are two other businessmen in this building? And then you frame it as a favor to them and their friends. I will give them the same VIP rate. You see? You're not begging for leads. You're offering to extend the same great service to their network.
And that's the magic right there. That's the result. One happy client instantly turns into 2 more warm leads. This is the referral engine. This is how one single successful hunt can create a chain reaction that feeds you for the rest of the month. So we'll end on this thought. Yeah, these tactics are from Bangladesh, but the mindset, the hunter's mindset, is universal. It's all about looking past the obvious playbooks, listening for the real signals underneath the words, and finding opportunity in what looks like chaos. So let me ask you, what's the noise in your own market, in your own world, that you've been trained to just ignore? Because the answer to that question might be exactly where your next big opportunity is hiding.